What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Jump to Start Racing podcast. I'm here with one of my closest friends. Yhancy, say hello.
The showdown.
The showdown.
Hi.
It'll be an argument back and forth, yeah. Actually, we're joined from the great beyond. Ruben, say hello.
What's going on, guys? The great beyond. Wow.
The great beyond. The voice with no body attached.
The voice. El locutor.
Yes. Well, Ruben unfortunately could not be here today. He's at he has a greater calling. No, he did not pass away. He's
joining us from the metaverse.
Yes.
The metaverse.
Didn't you know it's the new Facebook thing?
The new Facebook. Come on, dude. Come on.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, man.
Meta.
Boo. All right, so guys, on today's episode, we'll be talking about the upcoming Mexican Grand Prix, and of course, that takes us through the trivia. We'll talk about the history. We'll also talk about some news on social media. You've seen the pictures of Jeddah, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, potentially not ready in time. And we'll also talk about some new potential issues with the Mercedes suspension. And with that said, I want to make sure to invite everybody at Jump to Start F1 on Twitter and Instagram. On podcast platforms, make sure to drop a review. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart Radio, TuneIn, and Stitcher. That's where you could find us. And then on YouTube as well, you could see us on video. Please make sure to stop in, say hello. Jump to Start Racing podcast. With
And
that
please
said,
comment that you missed me because I'm not there.
oh my God. No, he said to comment that we miss him. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I'm going to actively read the comments to see if that's true.
So, Yhancy, how was your weekend, brother?
It was good, man. It was good. Didn't do much, but I got a lot of work done, which is great. And a little bit sad because Sunday there was no race.
There was a lot of football, though, so that was good.
Yeah. And I'm not a big football fan like you know.
Ruben, how was yours? From the great beyond.
Too short.
Too short. Why do you say that? We didn't even see you. You're having so much fun. You're not even here.
I was ghosted all weekend.
Me and Yhancy are gonna make a vase, and you're gonna like the movie. Oh my God! All right, so let's jump into the news. Yhancy, if you could. There's a headline here on motorsport.com. Ferrari doesn't see anything wrong with the Mercedes F1 suspension. If you could tell us what that suspension issue is.
Well, it's not really an issue. It's just a nice little development that teams do during the F1 season to improve their cars, which is what we expect them to do. If you guys, you heard the chirping in the paddock, basically the past 3 or 4 weeks, that Red Bull was perplexed into how the Mercedes is all of a sudden faster in a straight line. And they were pointing to the engine. They wanted to know what they did to their engine that was making them so fast. And it wasn't actually their engine, it was their aerodynamics. And what they have done, and teams have used this before, but I guess not to the extent that Mercedes has done so, is that they are able, on the straight, as the car picks up speed, their suspension tends to lower the car at the back, in essence stalling the diffuser, which provides little to no drag on the car as it goes through the straights. And as you get to the braking zone, as the car turns, the car lifts up again, and voila, the diffuser starts working, and you have downforce going through the corners. So that is essentially, in a nutshell, super simplified, what Mercedes has done. And it's within the rules. There's no appeal to the FIA to check this out or anything like that. And it has given us a better championship fight going into the last 5 races.
So I'm going to ask you, that was the simplified version?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is F1, bro. What do you think? Nothing in F1 is simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you make it simpler?
No. So that would explain why Sector 2 in Austin, they were unbelievable Mercedes.
Yes.
That would explain why in Turkey They were unbelievable in Turkey.
Yeah.
Huh.
Even going back to the race before.
Even Russia?
Yeah, because they have been quicker in a straight line. And everybody thought it was maybe like an engine upgrade that they brought, but obviously they can't really do much of an upgrade to the engine during the season. And they were suspecting that maybe because they have changed so many engines, it did something different to the engine, but it seems to be like that's just reliability problems. So I think it's just that. That's the reason why they are faster in a straight line.
Okay. It's not due to the army of engines that Valtteri Bottas has gone through. That wasn't testing it. That wasn't trying to push it forward.
Valtteri would have won more races.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So this is the new version of the DAS, I guess.
Basically.
Nah, I mean,
but instead of being on the steering wheel, on the steering,
well, it's not driver controlled though.
Yeah, it's something that literally is.
Do we know that?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't be able to control.
Yeah, we do know that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't think the FIA would let them get away with it.
Yeah.
Take off the tinfoil hat.
Okay, so on to the next bit of news. Sprint races. We have one sprint race, the last one coming up in Brazil, which is the next race coming up actually next week. So next year, they've already, Ross Brawn has already commented that they're looking at make it 6 sprint races, doubling the number from this year. And that they're also looking to start awarding more points throughout the rest of the field. So all the way down through 10th place, they're looking to award one third of the race distance, 1/3 of the points. So I guess for first place, instead of 25, it'd be something closer to 10, which isn't exactly 1/3, but we're getting to that. And then points all the way down to 10th place. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like it, to be upfront, actually. I don't like it. I think that it would cheapen the actual races themselves.
Which is the argument that has been placed all along to the critics of the sprint race system. Now, could it make teams fight more during the sprint race? Because honestly, the sprint races that we've had so far, and we'll see how it goes in Brazil, they've been almost like a parade of cars.
I don't know if I would agree with that.
Maybe you'll get like some action in the beginning laps, but then after that, it's just.
I thought the one in Monza was actually pretty entertaining. The first one, okay, Silverstone, okay, that was a little paradey.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe teams weren't gunning for it.
I think the sprint race is still developing. We still need more time, regardless of what is being said about it. Because I agree with Yhancy. It's like once the race pretty much starts, it's just a line of cars going through. Like there's no action. Nobody wants to take risks. Yeah, they have to make it more because awarding to the teams are able to take risks during the sprint qualifying, sprint race, whatever you want to call it. But it has to be, I guess, in a matter. It's pretty much simplified. Like everything Wells was saying, I'm still trying to get my head around the third of a lap, blah 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 blah, all of that stuff.
I just don't think that there's enough of an incentive, because right now, essentially, aside from the top 3 that finished the sprint race, there's not much of an incentive except for track position. But in the tracks that they do hold these races, track position is not as important.
I don't know. I mean, to me, the incentive would be the same as a qualifying. Like, why do teams go all out during these qualifyings? It's because the track position is important. And it's something that, for example, we've mentioned with Sergio Perez all year. It's so important that it dominates where he's going to be finishing through, on Sunday. So yeah. I think that in and of itself should be the reward. And maybe the conversation should become, okay, do we just drop the traditional qualifying and figure out a way to order the cars such that come sprint qualifying time, we have a good order?
Yeah, but the main difference is that if you're fighting for track position, for example, if you have qualifying and then you have a sprint race, during a sprint race, you're fighting wheel to wheel, especially if you have these cars now that or quote unquote, will be able to follow each other. If you're taking that risk just for track position, you're taking a risk in wrecking your entire race, as opposed to qualifying where you're just on the track by yourself. All you got to do is worry about not crashing the car. You got what I'm saying? You can push it to the limit, but you don't have a car right next to you where you can wreck your entire weekend.
I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna in qualifying, the current qualifying scenarios, I think that what you get a lot of is whatever car is best suited to the track, or whatever car is just the best in general, dominating qualifying for the season, right? So in sprint qualifying, what happens, or what has already happened this season, is you see drivers that are more talented than the other drivers being able to outperform guys that maybe they should be outperforming, even though they have lesser cars. So it gives the drivers a chance to be drivers, and with their skill, move up the rankings, move up the
for a track position,
the starting grid for the track position. It eliminates that. It introduces the variable of the driver's skill, I guess, is what I'll say.
What you're saying, so basically, what you're saying is that it's taking away the performance of the driver as far as determining the grid as opposed to the car. Because during the sprint race, I would agree with you on that. During the sprint race, it's more due to the car as opposed to the driver. Like
you're saying during qualifying, it's more the car. That's what I'm saying.
No. Well, I'm meaning during qualifying, like a traditional qualifying, it could be more up to the driver.
I think it's the reverse.
Really?
Yeah, because you've seen Alonso climb up the order during the sprint qualifying, and he has what's noticeably a worse car than the McLarens, the Ferraris, the Mercedes, the Red Bulls. So that's already 8 teams that he would be behind, but he's been able to push the car forward where it wouldn't be starting in the first place.
Yeah, but you could also say that, for example, let's look at a Leclerc.
Right, right. That's a good example.
Yeah, but during Leclerc during a regular qualifying, meaning he's proven, or even George Russell, he's proven a better qualifier, can get the car up to a certain position. Meaning, but that's qualifying. So you can make the case that happens both ways.
Yeah, but I think it's more because of the battles, the potential battles on the track, it's more pronounced in the sprint qualifying. We've seen because of sprint qualifying, we've seen already in, what was it, Monza, that we had such a wonky starting position because of the weather and because of the sprint qualifying. I forget the exact order of the starting grid, but we ended up having a weird, what was it, the McLarens up front, Carlos Sainz, we had George Russell up higher. I don't particularly remember, but my opinion is that it gives the racier drivers a better opportunity than what it would, for example, if you have a Bottas versus a Leclerc. What's that?
What it would be like on a traditional qualifying.
It gives them a better shot, is my opinion.
Yes. That's what Yhancy said too.
No, yes, he's saying the opposite. He's saying that the drivers matter more in a traditional qualifying. I'm saying the reverse. I'm saying in a sprint qualifying that the driver, because it's a race, there's more influence from the driver rather than just my car is much faster, so I'm just going to qualify higher.
Yeah.
Well, no, because here's the thing. During the race, I think the qualities of what car you have comes out when you have basically a longer period of time. So
Okay.
you can compare, let's say, the 1 lap pace of a Ferrari and a McLaren. Let's take a Ferrari and McLaren in a certain track. Let's say this, right? And we've seen them be faster in one track and slower on another track. Now, let's say you take Lando Norris versus Charles Leclerc in their respective cars. Okay, you can say, for example, if the McLaren is faster on a certain track over time, because we know that the McLaren was faster, let's say, on a track like Monza. Let's just take Monza, for example, right? And the McLaren is clearly faster because it has a faster straight line speed. But let's say if you put Leclerc in during a 1 lap race, you have more of a chance of Leclerc, let's say a 1 lap pace of qualifying, you have a chance of Leclerc actually beating Norris in that one lap because Leclerc is a better qualifier than Norris. Now, if you put him in a sprint race, we know that Norris will probably win out because he's just in a better car suited for the track. You get what I'm trying to tell you?
I mean, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to really, off of two sprint quality data sets, it's hard to really just be like, okay, well, here's what it is. But
I think that, do you have any, what would you think? As you know, obviously, I think the reason why my personal, well, I think that the reason why they want to award more points up and down the grid is to give them more of an incentive to fight. Meaning anywhere from 4th to 10th.
Yeah, of course.
Right? That is, I think we can all agree on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that could add more intrigue or make it more, quote unquote, spicier to the sprint qualifying format?
Other than the points, no, I don't see anything.
How about making it shorter?
Potentially, yeah.
So if you make it shorter, where they have to fight 4 points, and you get more of a point spread up and down, I think that would make it more interesting. What?
Okay.
How about, what do you think, Ruben?
I mean, making it shorter will also force them to push more during the actual qualifying, because right now, like towards the end is when the tires are going away. They are pushing, but if they know it's shorter time, they'll push, from the get-go even more. So that could be a little interesting.
I say make it shorter. Make them run the minimum amount of petrol or gas or fuel that they need, and put them on the fastest tires. Just let them go balls to the wall and see what happens.
Yhancy, write that email, Yhancy.
I think if you make it too short, like we haven't seen it yet, but there will come a time in our sprint qualifying future where a pit stop would be part of the strategy.
Yeah, I mean,
and we've seen it in F2. It's happened.
But then that's the thing in the current qualifying, the sprint qualifying format, they can stop if they want to, but they don't have to. So obviously, most teams are going to go with the strategy where they just there's a no stop and just keep going, because that's what's going to benefit them. And it's only a third of, a third of a race distance. So we got to see more, but obviously. So
Yhancy wants to lower it to a quarter of a race instead of a third.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, and absolutely.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense in some ways too.
And put it on the hypersofts and just let them run.
We're back to the multiple colors.
The pink tires,
C1s.
Yep.
Is it the C5s are the softest or the C1s?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yhancy, please don't do it.
Yeah.
Actually, the C5s are the softest.
All right.
That's right. Anyway, keep going.
So with that said, I don't know. They want to add 3 more tracks to what's already there, and I don't know.
I wonder what other tracks they'll bring it to.
Coda.
Yes, that'll be great.
They got to do it. Coda, Austria. That would be phenomenal. I feel like that's an obvious choice.
Bahrain.
Yeah.
Bahrain. Yeah.
Bahrain's a quick track, man.
Azerbaijan.
It's such a long track.
It's so long, though.
But it does lead to action. I don't know. Okay.
We always get good races at Baku.
Baku.
Except for the first one they ever did there.
Okay. Next news story. Not even a news story, because we see the pictures. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Jeddah, the Jeddah circuit, right? We've seen on social media how
this isn't Star Wars, Ruben.
Yeah. May the force be with them so that they can finish. We've seen that it will be a challenge to get the track completed and all the amenities done for people to actually go and watch this race in Saudi Arabia. Right now, if you go on social media and you've seen, even if you Google search Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, whatever, the first news result is just, will it be ready on time? And you see just all the construction going on, all the concrete being poured, all the empty structures, without anything on the inside, without the glass finished. And this is a race that's 4.5 weeks away. What do you guys think? So there's two things, right? Being able to get fans in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that inside, actually, you know what? They don't really bend the rules in Saudi Arabia to make things happen, right? That's a very stand-up country, right?
I think that's the only way they'll be able to get it done on time.
Very stand-up country.
Yes.
And then number two,
didn't we talk about this before?
the track itself. Like, you need to have it paved. You need to have it surfaced correctly way ahead of time to make sure that all the oils are out of it so that there's enough grip. We went through this last year in Turkey with a little bit of rain that it was a slip and slide.
They might have to get it a little bit, do a little power wash.
What do you? Oh man, what do you think, Yhancy? Are we gonna Yhancy or Ruben? What do you guys think?
Ruben, what do you think? You're the one that brought this up.
Oh man, they better start shipping plane full of construction workers from wherever they get the construction workers from, because obviously we know that in this this country how they do construction, because they don't only need to be working 24 hours. They better not even take bathroom breaks to be able to finish, because they have a lot of work to do, man.
Dude,
work.
I'm looking at these pictures right now. That track does not look like it's finished.
You Google Saudi Arabia Grand Prix.
Yeah, I did exactly what you just did right now.
And you click news and it'll show you. It won't even be done.
The paddock look like it still has rebar on it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's like it's in the blocks.
I don't know, man. We're 5 weeks out. This does not look good. You think they'll pull it off?
I think that I think they'll pull it off. I think it won't be 100%, but I don't think, I think that the powers that be will make people be quiet about any potential issues.
Oh, just like it's quiet now. The only reason this is a story is because of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't seen any major news stories about this. Not on Motorsport, not on Autosport. None of the major publications have it. So, I mean...
We broke it here first.
Breaking news! Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be interesting. They're going to have something. You imagine they can't get this race off?
Oh, my God.
Stop.
Jeez.
It'll be a 3-week break. I don't even want to imagine that.
Yeah. Nah, but I think they'll get it.
Abu Dhabi back to back.
Yeah.
Please no.
Or we get another Bahrain race, the outer circle.
Oh, all right. So speaking of Bahrain, there was also rumors that they were going to have a dress code. It wasn't even rumors. It was like, this is what they announced. This is the dress code. They've walked it back in Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
not
really?
Bahrain. That's next year, Bahrain.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia. I could have sworn I saw an infographic, but now we're back to no dress code. Originally, I think it was something like long flowy, like long sleeve shirts for like women, and then you could wear like linen pants or like long pants.
Mm-hmm.
And the tagline was, or the reason for that was, it'll protect you from the sun.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
I mean, I'd want to be protected from the sun, but now they're saying that there's not going to be any dress code whatsoever. That it was a rumor, etc. So.
More human, right?
Over to business casual.
So all right. So I'll tell you what. The WWE recently had a big pay-per-view in I don't know if it was Riyadh or Jeddah, but it was in Saudi Arabia, and I think this was the second time that they allowed their female performers to have a match. But usually, if you watch sports entertainment or wrestling, the females usually have like scantily clad clothing or very little clothing. And a lot of that is due, obviously, because it's easier for them to perform. During that pay-per-view, obviously, the females had their long pants on. They had a tighter shirt, which had to be long sleeve, but then they had to have a loose T-shirt for them to perform. So, is that what they're trying to...
That was WWE?
That was WWE.
How the heck do you do like a suplex in that? Like,
but that's just the female performers.
And the men were
just
whatever.
In
their tighty whities.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, well. Yeah, and they're what they call they're tights. I mean, I don't think they're white, but
yeah. All right.
We don't want to see. Well, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get why they would.
I mean, we'll see. They walked it back, so obviously there's no issue now going forward. But we'll see if they
For now,
we'll see if they change their mind again.
I mean, you don't see this in any other Arabic country in the Middle East, so I don't even know why that would be an issue.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see it in Bahrain, you don't see it in Abu Dhabi. So why would
Ruben, any thoughts other than you get to see your girlfriend Angela Cullen?
No, I'm thinking.
What are you thinking, Ruben?
No, I'm thinking like, do we see it from, are we gonna? Is something similar going to happen at Qatar or whatever, Qatar?
Yeah, maybe.
Hasn't been in the news. Who knows? But I don't think it's been a focal point before. Maybe because I don't know. It's just.
Well, I mean, it's like I think it's like I mentioned before. It'll definitely it'll definitely bring attention to the issue, and then we'll see what happens from there.
All right, that does it for news on our end. So that means that we're jumping into the race preview, Mexican Grand Prix. Start us off with trivia, Ruben.
So trivia is a little weird because obviously we are, Formula One fans, but we cannot go back, or at least all of us. Yeah, all three of us, I could say. Can I go back too far? Because obviously I'm the oldest one. I'm prehistoric compared to these guys. So
pretty sure you can.
Yeah. Just that's what I said. I'm prehistoric compared to you guys.
You're the Tyrannosaurus.
But let's go. I got a couple of easy questions for you guys to try to guess, or maybe have the right answer. Let's go. Let's go with the first one. Name the driver who entered the 2016 Mexican Grand Prix with a swearing section over the radio.
Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, Yhancy got it. Oh, shit.
He was mad.
What was the question? With a swearing section?
Yeah, he basically went on a tirade over the radio, cursing out Charlie Whiting.
Why?
He was mad at Max.
Yep.
He was mad at Max because there's I'll give you a brief history on that. The reason why was that at this point, a lot of drivers were complaining about Max moving in the braking zone, so you couldn't do a double move, and Max Verstappen seemed to do that a lot. And obviously Vettel was fighting for position, was trying to overtake Max Verstappen. He moved in the braking zone. They didn't give him a penalty, and then the chaos ensued, and Sebastian Vettel went off.
But off hard.
Yeah,
obviously. I think it was mainly was also not only the braking, moving on the braking. Also, I think he overtook Vettel for third place by cutting a corner.
Wow!
And the penalty didn't come out to like the end of the race, and I think because of Vettel's the way he behaved, he also got penalized. So it was Ricciardo that was actually finished fifth. That was in the podium for third place.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Next question.
Next question. Thank you, Waz. Name the driver whose race was cut short on 2018 due to engine failure, and after the race said, he's done with this car, I'll let Gasly drive it.
That's Daniel Ricciardo.
Yep,
yeah.
And that was that day actually made his 8th retirement of the season.
Yeah, and he had DNF the race before him, Austin,
complaining about a engine manufacturer that he was going to go race for. Who knows?
You know what's funny about that is that that was a season that Daniel Ricciardo had a ton of DNFs. The season before that, Max Verstappen had a ton of DNFs also. So that's why you can never really compare how they did head to head, because there was one season where Max Verstappen was just like DNFing all the time. And then the next season it was Daniel Ricciardo DNFing all the time, and it was because of the Renault engine.
The reliability, no, but what I said towards that, Yhancy, the head-to-head battles have to be compared depending on which way the team went on setting up the car for each driver. Pretty much we're seeing it now with Sergio Perez. Throughout the whole season, his car was being set up similar to Max. They went a different way, and Sergio Perez's performance has skyrocketed, you could say. You know?
Yeah, but that's something that we'll never be able to tell.
That's a good point.
Exactly. Publicly, no, yeah.
Good point, Ruben.
Wow. All right, next question.
Name the only back-to-back winner at the Mexican Grand Prix.
Max Verstappen.
Yes, sir. You got it right.
Yeah, 20.
Close enough.
Was it 2018, 2019?
Nope, 17 and 18.
17 and 18. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, yeah,
The only back-to-back ever, by the way. Not just now, you know.
Yeah, because we didn't
Right.
race. Obviously, we didn't race.
If he wins now, would it be back to? No, I don't think he won in 19.
No, because he got 17, 18, 19.
No, because
Hamilton.
Lewis won in 19, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lewis won 19 and 16.
There you go.
Okay.
15 was won by Nico Rosberg.
Wow. Wow. Is that it for questions?
That's for trivia, guys.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Right.
History time. Let's do it.
Go.
History now. Dun, 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 dun. So I was just, there's a big history.
Short
with,
view back to the past.
Yeah. That applies here. Yeah. Let's do it.
So there's a big history related to the Mexican Grand Prix, going back to the first event was held in 1962, even though it was not counted as you would say as part of the championship. It was later into 1963 when it was made part of the championship series of Formula One. Big highlight is in 1970. They ran into crowd control issues. There was an estimated over 200,000 people there, and they could not keep people off the track, where Jackie Stewart and a couple of drivers did laps around slowly just to tell people to stay off the track.
Wow. Jeez, that's so dangerous.
Oh. Yep. After 1970, it will be 16 years to the next Mexican Grand Prix. It's been on off for a bunch of times. It was now developing with a name change. It was now called the Hermano Rodriguez. Autódromo Hermano Rodriguez. I'm sorry, I botched the name. The way saying it.
What was the original name of the place?
I did not write it down. There was a different name, but it was pretty much in a similar area. Like the area itself, it was the original place was a little bit outside of Mexico City until it was brought here in 1986 to where it is now. In 1986, it was surprised as well to have it. It was a year after Mexico suffered a devastating earthquake,
Mm-hmm.
And the track still faced a lot of safety issues due to uneven surface. And there was where Photosol is out now, or the stadium area, that was a 180-degree turn before it was called Peraltada. Don't know what that name means, but it was pretty much a very dangerous
Track.
part of the track. Yeah, it was held there on and off for about 3 more Grand Prix after 1986. There was some years that was back to back, and then it would skip some years.
Basically, the Hockenheim of South America.
In a lot of ways, yeah. It wasn't until 2015, with the support of billionaire Carlos Slim, that he came back after being absent for 23 years.
Bam.
Now I'm bringing us the redesigned stadium section to take place of that dangerous turn. And it's actually pretty much, you would say, the loudest part of the track as well when it comes to the fans' integration. I've watched a race from there, and it's pretty much also the most fun you could have that I had so far in a racetrack.
Wow. Okay.
Highlights is the Mexican Grand Prix has been home. It was home to Senna's 100th Grand Prix in 1990. It was home to Alonso's 250th race start in 2015. And in 1992 was Michael Schumacher's first podium. It was a third place for Benetton. We got the most wins by a driver, Jim Clark, with 3, followed by a 4-way tie with 2 wins apiece. Alain Prost, Nigel Mansell, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton.
Boom.
Wow.
Yep. Most wins by construction, Lotus with 4.
Wow.
Followed by a 3-way tie, another tie. for McLaren, Williams, and Mercedes. Ferrari and Red Bull could join that list of the tie for second, because then right now there are 2 wins apiece. So if Red Bull wins or Ferrari this weekend, they could join that list of the constructor with
probably Red Bull
3 wins. Most wins by engine manufacturers are Honda, followed by Honda with 4. Followed by a 3-way tie again with an engine manufacturer I never heard of before. It's called Climax for Mercedes. Another highlight is highest altitude race with 2,240 meters above sea level. That's about 7,500 feet. The next highest on the calendar is Brazil with 765. Why did I miss? What did I miss?
In 2017 and 2018, Lewis Hamilton won the championship there. He secured the championship win there for WDC. Yeah. That's all I got.
In both years?
Both years, 17 and 18.
Awesome.
Back to back, he secured them there.
Okay.
Yeah, 19 because Mexico was before.
Was after.
Mexico,
you're right. Before.
Coda,
yeah.
He landed the championship in Coda.
In Coda, yep.
Boom.
Predictions.
Who's going first?
I'll go first. I think it'll be qualifying. I think it'll be Max, Perez, and no, you know what? Max, Hamilton, and Perez, and then the race it'll be Max, Perez, and Hamilton.
4th and 5th?
4th and 5th. I've got 2 tickets to Paris.
Okay, Eddie Money.
Hey,
Eddie Money.
No, I think it'll be 4th. I think will be Valtteri Bottas, and then 5th will be Charles Leclerc.
Boom.
Whoa.
By you, Ruben?
Qualifying with Max, followed by Lewis. Sorry, and I don't think Perez will get up there. I say Bottas. Bottas has always been good on this track, especially that lap that he was having when he crashed. I believe 2019 or 18. I'm not 100% sure which of the 2 years, but he crashed at the last turn. So I'll go. Those are my prediction for qualifying. Is Max, Lewis, Bottas. For the race win will be Max Verstappen, followed by Lewis. 3rd place. I'll say both. Just like qualifying. 4th and 5th will be Paris. I don't want to say Leclerc. Sainz.
I think Mercedes is going to suffer this weekend. Why? Because of the high altitude. Engines tend to overheat.
You think that's still a problem?
Yeah, it's definitely still a problem, and they have less reliability this season, as we can see with.
But the car drops now.
Valtteri Bottas going to Hunt's Point all the time for getting new engines.
But remember, the car drops now.
Yeah, I mean, it is a track that's suited to them as far as straight line speed. But I'm still going to, but Red Bull runs here really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be Verstappen, Perez. I would have liked it to be Perez and Verstappen, but they're going to let, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton.
Perez winning here.
The place would erupt.
It would be like a volcano
on holiday in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then 4th and 5th, I say Bottas 4th, 5th Leclerc.
Very good.
So if Max wins, if forgetting fastest lap, right? If Max wins, that's 25. 2nd place is 18. And if we're saying that Hamilton gets 3rd, right, with 15 points, that adds 10 points. That makes it a 22 point lead for the championship. That is
heading into Brazil.
Which is I believe the 3rd highest track on the calendar. It's not looking good. It would take a DNF to claw back that many points.
I'll tell you what, to me it's looking like what this season has panned out to be, where the Red Bull is a better car, Max Verstappen has been the better driver, I think if it wasn't because of these unfortunate circumstances that we talked about previously, the DNF in Baku, the accidents with Hamilton at Monza and Silverstone, I think Max would definitely have a more comfortable lead this season. But you're going up against Lewis Hamilton. And if Lewis Hamilton is this close, obviously things can happen and turn into, when we've seen it before, turn in Mercedes' favor. But right now, what we're seeing and what we think was going to happen in Mexico is how the season has panned out. I think the Red Bull has been slightly better than the Mercedes this entire season.
Well, what do you see at DNF from Max?
Where do I don't know. I don't know what to say there.
Hey, could be Jeddah, whatever.
What if in another multiverse, right? What if Ocon crashes into Verstappen again in Brazil?
Exactly. That's in Brazil.
Dude, Max would kill him. Like, literally kill him.
Yeah, it'll be an all-out brawl.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a brawl. I think it'll be a beatdown.
That's why I said Brazil again.
I thought you said Jeddah.
No, I said could it be Brazil? Could it be Jeddah? Jeddah because of the,
So if you say every track, it could be Brazil, could it be Jeddah, could it be Saudi Arabia? Then you're like, oh, I said this one.
I think it'll be the one that you didn't mention was Qatar.
Yes.
Qatar.
All right, boys. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Back to Formula One racing. We got what do we have?
Race week.
Three races in a row.
3 races in a row. It's a triple header. Mexico, Brazil, and then maybe maybe Saudi Arabia. No, I'm wrong here.
Qatar, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's Qatar. It's Mexico, Brazil, Qatar, Saudi Arabia on the 5th of December, and then Abu Dhabi on the 12th of December.
Dang, we're going into mid-December.
We did last year too.
Yeah, but that was different because we had wasn't last year there was a delay.
No. Well, there was a delay to start. Yeah. It was nice because I got a nice birthday present at the end of the year. Got to watch an F1 race. It was nice.
Yay.
And on that note, this is why you guys are not my closest friends, by the way. So on that note,
why do you keep lying to the public and say that we are?
I won't anymore.
Huh?
I won't anymore. At Jump to Start F1 on Instagram and Twitter. Guys, make sure to drop a review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart Radio, TuneIn, and Stitcher. We're also on YouTube, Jump to Start Racing Podcast. Hello. Thumbs up, subscribe, drop a comment, say hello at Jump to Start F1. See you guys later.
Peace.
This is no man's land. Peace.